I was halfway through reheating leftover noodles when the knock came. Who even knocks like that? I muttered, wiping my hands on a rag. The rhythm was sharp, impatient. I opened the door, and there she was. Surprise? Serene said, flashing a smile too bright for the dim hallway. My throat tightened. Serene? You sound shocked. She pushed past me without waiting for permission. Her heels clicked against the floor I had mopped that morning. I didn't think I'd ever find you living in a place like this. I shut the door slowly. What are you doing here? She glanced around the small living room, wrinkling her nose. Moving in. Didn't you get my message? What? My voice cracked. I texted you last night. Maybe you ignored me. She dropped her designer bag on the couch like it belonged there. Anyway, I've decided I'll be staying here for a while. I stared. You've decided? Yes, isn't that what I just said? She tossed her hair back. Honestly, you should be grateful. Having me around might brighten this depressing little place. Heat flushed through me. Serene, you can't just what? She turned, smirking. It's not like you have anyone else here. No husband, no kids, no life. My chest clenched. That's none of your business. It's sad, really. She walked to the window and pulled the curtain aside. Still the same little sister hiding away, afraid of the world. I'm not hiding, I whispered. Then what do you call this? She gestured around. Bare walls, secondhand furniture, one lonely plant, pathetic. I clenched my fists. You don't get to talk to me like that. Of course I do. I'm your sister. She smiled again, sharp as glass. Family always tells the truth, doesn't it? I swallowed hard. The noodles were burning, but I couldn't move. Why here? Why now? She turned, her expression softening just enough to sting. Because I need it. I need space, peace. And who else would take me in if not you? I shook my head. You could afford 10 places like this. Her laugh was hollow. You think money fixes everything? I wanted something real. Something familiar? Familiar? My voice rose. After all this time, after everything you did, you think I'll just let you waltz in? She crossed the room in 2 strides, lowering her voice. Stop pretending you're stronger than you are. You've always needed me, I flinched. That's not true. Remember when we were kids? Who spoke for you when you were too shy? Who made sure no one bullied you? Who stole from me? I shot back before I could stop myself. Her eyes narrowed. You're still on that? You took what mattered most. My voice trembled. You left me with nothing. She sighed dramatically as if I were the unreasonable one. You never understood. Life is about survival. I did what I had to. At my expense. At everyone's expense, she said, almost proudly. The kitchen timer beeped, shrill and sharp. I ignored it. I'm not here to fight, Serene said, softening her tone again. I'm here to stay. Let's not make this harder than it needs to be. My knees felt weak. And if I say no? She tilted her head, eyes glinting. Then I'll stay anyway. What are you going to do, throw me out? I opened my mouth, but nothing came. My heart pounded against my ribs like it wanted out. That's what I thought. She smiled sweetly. Good girl. I turned away so she wouldn't see the tears burning my eyes. Behind me, she settled onto the couch and kicked off her heels. It's settled then. I'll move my things tomorrow. My voice barely worked. You don't get to... I already did. Her tone was final. The smell of burnt noodles filled the kitchen. I switched off the stove, staring at the blackened pan. Something inside me cracked. A soundless break. I wanted to scream, but all that escaped was a whisper. Welcome back, Serene. She didn't even hear me. She was too busy humming, victorious, in my house. Serene dragged a chair across the floor and sat like she owned the place. You really never upgraded, did you? She tapped the armrest. This chair looks like it belongs in a thrift store. It's comfortable, I muttered. Comfortable? She laughed. Comfortable is what poor people say when they can't afford better. I gritted my teeth. It's mine, that's enough. She waved her hand. You've always been satisfied with scraps. Remember when you wore the same shoes for 2 years? Everyone laughed. They laughed because you told them to. I shot back. Her smile widened. I was just honest. You were pitiful. My stomach twisted. You were cruel. I was practical. Someone had to teach you that the world doesn't reward weakness. By humiliating me? She leaned back, stretching like a cat. It worked, didn't it? You're still here, surviving somehow. I clenched my fists. Barely surviving isn't the same as living. Exactly. You're proof of my point. Without me, you'd be nothing. I swallowed hard, heat rising in my chest. You don't get to take credit for my pain. Her eyes flicked to my clothes. Speaking of pain, what are you even wearing? That shirt looks like it crawled out of a clearance bin. It's clean. Clean doesn't make it pretty. No wonder you never married. Who would look twice at you like this? Her words stung, sharp as ever. Stop it, Serene. I'm only telling the truth. She leaned closer. You're weak. Always were. The word echoed inside me, heavy and poisonous. I had heard it from her lips 1,000 times before. You're wrong, I whispered. She raised a brow. Am I, remember Daniel? My breath caught. Don't, her smirk deepened. Oh, come on. You still think about him, don't you? I turned away. That was years ago. You loved him. She said it like a weapon. But he chose me. Because I was stronger, prettier, smarter, my chest burned. You stole him, she laughed. I didn't steal. He wasn't yours to keep. You knew how much he meant to me, which is why it was so easy. You trusted me too much. I closed my eyes, the old ache rising. I remembered the night Daniel disappeared, the silence of my phone, the way Serene's perfume lingered on his jacket. You ruined me, I whispered. She shrugged. I set you free. He would have crushed you anyway. I shook my head. No, you crushed me. She leaned forward, her voice dropping. You should thank me. Without that pain, you'd still be clinging to him, begging for scraps of affection. I gave you reality. Tears stung my eyes, but I didn't let them fall. You gave me nothing but scars. And yet here you are, letting me back into your life. Funny, isn't it? I forced my voice steady. This isn't the same. I'm not the same, she chuckled. You're exactly the same. Quiet, fragile, desperate for love you'll never get. You let me walk all over you then, and you'll let me do it now. My throat ached. You think you still own me? I know I do. Her eyes glimmered. You wouldn't dare push me out. I turned toward the window, hiding my trembling hands. Never again, I whispered to myself. What was that? Nothing, she smiled like a victor. Good. I was afraid you might actually grow a backbone. Her phone buzzed. She answered quickly, her voice dripping sweetness. Yes, darling, I'm fine. Just settling into my sister's place. Yes, it's tiny, but she adores having me. She laughed lightly. Of course, I'll manage. She'd never refuse me. I felt my stomach twist. Every word she spoke was a dagger, a reminder of the stage she played on while I stayed in the shadows. When she hung up, she glanced at me with triumph. See, even my friends think it's natural for me to be here. It's who I am. I walk in, I belong. And you... She waved at me like I was background noise. You just stand there. My voice shook, but I forced it out. Not this time. Her brows lifted. Excuse me? I swallowed the fear, let it burn into resolve. You can laugh, you can mock me, but I won't break again. Not for you. Not ever. She stared at me for a long moment, then smirked. We'll see. The words lingered heavy in the air, but I clung to mine. Never again. Not this time. Serene lounged on the couch, flipping through my old magazines as if she were testing how much of my world she could claim. You should really think about redecorating, she said casually. This house could be lovely if you just... Tried harder. I folded my arms. It's fine the way it is. Fine? She smirked. That's your favorite word, isn't it? Everything is fine, even when it's pathetic. I bit down on my tongue. The words I wanted to scream lodged deep inside me. Because the truth, the secret I had been hiding, buzzed in my pocket. Her eyes narrowed. Why are you smiling? I'm not. You are. You look like you're keeping something from me. I turned away. Not everything is about you, Serene, she laughed. Of course it is. When I walk into a room, it always is. My hand brushed against the envelope tucked into my drawer, where I had hidden it since the day I signed it. The house wasn't mine anymore, and she had no idea. I whispered under my breath, if only you knew. What was that? She asked sharply. Nothing, she stretched. Anyway, don't worry. I'll take good care of this place while I'm here. Think of it as mine already. I almost choked on the irony. Later that night, I couldn't stand her humming in the living room any longer. I pulled out my phone and dialed. Liam, I whispered. His voice came calm, steady. You sound like you're hiding in a closet. I practically am, I said. She's here, a pause. Serene? Yes. I heard his sharp intake of breath. She really showed up? She declared she's moving in, I muttered. Like she owns the place. And you didn't tell her? Tell her what? That the house isn't yours anymore. I closed my eyes. Not yet, he chuckled darkly. She's going to lose her mind when she finds out. That's why I called. I gripped the phone tighter. I keep asking myself if I did the right thing. Signing it over to you, was it crazy? It was survival, he said. You knew she'd come back one day. And now she walks straight into her own trap. She doesn't know about you. Not yet. She will. His tone carried a weight I both feared and trusted. I hesitated. You still hate her, don't you? There was silence, then his voice hardened. Hate doesn't even cover it, I flinched. Because of what she did? You don't need to remind me, he cut in. I bit my lip. She destroyed both of us, didn't she? She thought she did, he said. But we're still here. That's more than she can say. The next morning, Serene caught me staring at the envelope in my drawer. What's that? She asked, arching a brow. Bills. I shoved it shut. She smirked. You look guilty. Not everything is a game, Serene. Everything is a game, she corrected, brushing past me. The difference is I always win. Her words echoed like poison. But this time I had a card she couldn't see. That evening, Liam came by. I met him outside before she noticed. You shouldn't be here, I hissed. I needed to see her face, he replied. I'm not ready. You don't need to be ready. The papers are signed. Legally, this house is mine now. You're safe. I looked at him at the calm fire in his eyes. Safe doesn't feel real yet. It will, he promised. Inside, Serene froze when she saw him. You, she breathed, color draining from her face. Liam smiled coldly. Hello, Serene. I watched her mask slip just for a second. Then she forced a laugh. What are you doing here? Checking on my property, he said smoothly. Your what? She looked at me, her eyes blazing. What is he talking about? I swallowed. Serene, answer me, she snapped. Liam pulled the envelope from his jacket and placed it on the table. This house. It belongs to me now. She stared at the papers, her hands trembling. You're lying. I forced myself to meet her eyes. It's true. I signed it over to him 2 weeks ago. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. Liam leaned closer, his voice like a blade. Surprised? You should be. You thought you could waltz in and take over. But you walked into the last place you ever wanted to be. She looked at me, betrayal flashing across her face. You did this to me? My chest shook, but I held steady. I did this for me. When she stormed off to her room, I collapsed into a chair. My hands trembled. Liam sat across from me. You handled that well. I feel sick, I admitted. That's because you're not used to winning, he said. Get used to it. I pressed my palms against my knees, whispering to myself. Never again. Not this time, and for the first time, I almost believed it. Serene waved her arms like she owned a stage. Darlings, come in, don't be shy. It's small but cozy. I stood at the doorway, holding the tray of glasses she'd shoved at me. Is that your sister? One of her friends whispered. Serene grinned. Yes, isn't she adorable? She insists on helping me. She's always been the quiet type. Laughter rippled through the room. I forced a smile and set the tray down. My palms shook, but no one noticed. Sweetheart, could you fetch us some wine? Serene called. I swallowed hard. It's your bottle. She tilted her head, voice honeyed. Please, little sister. You're such a good hostess. I walked to the kitchen, my ears burning as their laughter followed me. When I returned, Serene was already in the middle of a story. I closed a deal last week, 7 figures. The client practically begged for me. Her friends gasped. You're unstoppable, Serene. She glanced at me as I poured the wine. Unlike some people, I don't settle. The jab cut deep, but I kept my face blank. One of the women leaned closer. You're so lucky to have her. Must be inspiring. I forced a nod. Every day. Serene clapped her hands. See, she adores me. Always has. The room erupted in approval. My chest tightened, but I kept moving, pouring glass after glass. Hours later, after her friends left, I gathered the empty cups. You didn't have to humiliate me, I muttered. Serene stretched across the couch. Humiliate? I praised you. You made me your servant, she smirked. Someone had to serve. You're good at it. My fists clenched. Why do you always do this? Because it's fun, she yawned. Besides, you'd be invisible without me. I turned away so she wouldn't see the heat in my eyes. The nights dragged on. More friends came, more laughter, more lies. One evening, I caught her on the phone, voice sharp. No, I said I'll pay next week. Stop calling me. She slammed the phone down and grabbed a glass. I stepped into the doorway. Everything okay? She jumped. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? You sounded... She cut me off. Mind your own business, I hesitated. Serene, are you in trouble? She barked a laugh. Me? Don't be ridiculous. I'm doing better than ever. But her hand trembled as she raised the glass. Later, I found her in the kitchen, drinking straight from the bottle. You shouldn't... Don't start, she snapped. I deserve this. You've been drinking every night, and I've earned it. Her eyes glistened. I whispered, What are you hiding? Her gaze shot to me, sharp and panicked. Nothing, I stepped closer. You keep dodging calls. You never used to flinch at the phone. She slammed the bottle down. Drop it! I froze. Her chest heaved, and then she plastered on that smile again. See? Still the weak little sister, scared of a raised voice. I swallowed. Not scared, just tired, her smile faltered. Tired? Yes. Tired of being crushed under your mask, she scoffed. Mask? This is who I am. No. I shook my head slowly. It's who you want them to think you are. Her eyes flickered, just for a moment, before she turned away. Go to bed. I lay awake that night, staring at the ceiling. I could still hear her laughter echoing from the evenings, the fake sweetness that fooled everyone but me. But I had seen the cracks. The phone calls. The trembling hands. The bottle clutched like a lifeline. She was hiding something. And for once, the thought didn't make me afraid. It made me stronger. I whispered into the dark, Your empire is crumbling, Serene. This time I almost smiled. The knock came late in the afternoon. My chest tightened. I already knew who it was. When I opened the door, Liam stood there, calm as stone. Are you going to let me in? He asked. I nodded quickly. Yes, come in. His boots echoed against the floor as he stepped inside. Serene looked up from the couch, mid-laugh, and froze. You, she whispered. Liam's lips curved faintly. Serene, her smile twitched, faltered, then returned like a mask. What a surprise. I didn't know you two still kept in touch. We do, Liam said smoothly. Quite a lot, actually. I sat down, my heart hammering, watching them circle each other with words. Serene crossed her legs. Well, isn't this nostalgic? It's been years. Not long enough, Liam said. Her eyes narrowed. Still bitter? He tilted his head. You don't remember? Remember what? She laughed too quickly. I meet so many people, Liam. I can't keep track of every little grudge. It wasn't little, he said softly, though the steel in his voice made the air colder. She shifted in her seat. I don't dwell on the past. You should, he said. The past has a way of catching up. I gripped the edge of my chair, watching her hands tremble against her lap. Serene forced another laugh. Always so dramatic. You haven't changed. And you have? His eyes burned into her. Funny, I see the same tricks. The same arrogance. She straightened her shoulders. I don't need to explain myself to you. You don't, Liam said calmly. But you will face me. I swallowed hard. The silence between them felt like a knife hovering over my throat. Finally, Serene scoffed. So what? You came here to spit old venom? To remind me of some childish mistake? Not a mistake, he corrected. A choice. Her jaw tightened. Then say it. If you've held on to this so long, say it. You betrayed me, he said, each word sharp. You lied. You took what wasn't yours and left me to clean up the wreckage. Sound familiar? Serene's eyes flickered toward me, then back to him. You two must have been gossiping. No, I whispered. We didn't have to. I remember too. She whipped her head toward me, glare cutting. Stay out of this. Liam leaned forward, voice low. She doesn't need to stay out of it. She's already in it. Just like you. Serene's mask cracked. Her breath hitched. Why are you here? Because this house belongs to me now. Her laugh came sharp and ugly. Excuse me? Liam pulled a folded paper from his coat and set it on the table. It's mine. She signed it over. Serene shot up from the couch. You're lying. I forced myself to meet her eyes. He's not lying. Her face drained of color. You gave him our house? My house, I corrected softly. And yes, I did. She shook her head, hands trembling. No, this is some trick. Not a trick, Liam said evenly. A contract. Legal. Binding. Her lips quivered, but she tried to sneer. Why would she do that? Because she knows you, Liam said. Better than anyone. She knew you'd come crawling back one day, thinking you could take whatever you wanted. She was ready this time. Her gaze darted between us, panic flashing in her eyes. You planned this, I exhaled shakily. I survived you. That's what I did. Serene's voice dropped to a whisper. You hate me that much? I shook my head slowly. No, I just love myself enough now. Her chest rose and fell sharply, as though she couldn't breathe. Liam leaned back, eyes still locked on her. The truth is simple. You have no power here anymore. She staggered back a step, gripping the armrest as if the floor tilted beneath her. For the first time in my life, I saw Serene afraid. She tried to laugh, but the sound cracked. Do you think this scares me? Do you think I care about your piece of paper? You care, Liam said, voice like iron. Because it means you can't win. I watched her crumble silently, my heart racing. A part of me wanted to reach out, but I stayed still. I whispered, barely audible, I almost pity you. Her eyes darted to me, wild, searching for mercy. But I had none left to give. Serene slammed the paper onto the table. This is fake. You forged it. I flinched at her voice, but Liam didn't move. It's legal, he said calmly. Signed, witnessed, and filed. She pointed at me, eyes blazing. You tricked her, didn't you? You manipulated her into this. I shook my head. No one tricked me, Serene. Her laugh came out jagged. You? Making decisions, please? You've never done anything without me telling you how. That used to be true, I said quietly. Not anymore. She swept her arm across the table, sending cups crashing to the floor. You're pathetic. You think you can stand against me? You'll regret this. I jumped at the sound of shattering glass. My hands trembled, but I forced my voice steady. Stop breaking my things. Your things? She sneered. This house should have been mine. I deserve it. Liam's tone sharpened. It never was yours, she spun on him. Stay out of this. He didn't flinch. You're shouting because you've lost. Paper doesn't lie, Serene. You can scream all night, but the law won't change for you. Her face twisted. You think your papers and your rules matter to me? I've always found a way around them. Not this time, he said. That night I tried to sleep, but her screams carried through the walls. You're nothing without me, she shouted. Nothing. I curled under the blanket, shaking, but I whispered to myself, I'm not nothing. The crash of another dish broke through the silence. My throat ached, but I didn't move. I let the storm rage until her voice cracked into sobs. The next morning, Serene staggered into the kitchen. Her hair was tangled, her eyes bloodshot. You looked smug, she hissed at me. I didn't say anything. You don't need to. I can feel it. You think you've won? I'm just tired, I said softly. She slammed a plate into the sink, hard enough to chip the edge. You're weak, that's all you are. Liam is using you. He'll throw you away when he's done, I stared at the broken dish. Even if he did, I'd still be free of you. Her hand froze on the faucet. For a moment, she didn't speak. Then she snarled, Ungrateful brat. Later that week, she invited her friends again. Darling, sit, one of them said to her, patting the chair. You look pale. I'm fine, Serene said too quickly. Just busy. You know how it is. Money, clients, deals. Her laugh rang false, brittle. I stayed in the kitchen, but I heard the whispers. She hasn't paid me back yet. She promised me last month. Do you think she's in trouble? Serene raised her voice, drowning them out. Another bottle of wine, sister? I carried it in silently, setting it down. Her friends smiled politely, but their eyes were different now. When they left, I faced her. They're starting to notice. Her jaw tightened. Notice what? The cracks. Her hand shot out, grabbing my wrist. If you say one word to them, You'll what? My voice shook, but I didn't back away. You don't control me anymore. Her grip loosened as if the words burned her. You've changed, she muttered. Yes, I said, pulling free. And you're falling. That night, Liam stopped by. He stood in the doorway, arms crossed. The neighbors heard her screaming again. I lowered my eyes. She won't stop. She can't, he said. It's what people do when they're losing. They thrash, I whispered. She scares me. She should, he said, then softened. But not enough to stop you. I looked at him, surprised. Me? Yes. You're stronger than you think. Later, I found Serene staring into the mirror, whispering to herself. They're wrong. I'm fine. I'm still the best. No one can take that from me. Her reflection didn't agree. I stood in the doorway, unseen, and for the first time, I felt no fear. Only a quiet strength I had never known. The queen was falling, and I was still standing. I found the letters first. They were crumpled in her purse, half hidden under makeup and perfume bottles. Final notice, the top one read. My hands shook as I scanned the words. Past due. Outstanding balance. Collection. I whispered. Debt? Serene's voice cut from behind me. What are you doing? I spun, the letter still in my hand. What is this? She snatched it away, eyes blazing. None of your business. You've been lying, her jaw clenched. It's handled. No, it's not. You're drowning, aren't you? Her hand trembled as she shoved the letter into her bag. I said it's handled. Serene. My voice softened. This is why you came here, isn't it? You had nowhere else to go. She laughed harshly. Don't flatter yourself. I could live anywhere. Then why here? Because you're the only idiot who wouldn't slam the door in my face. The words hit hard, but I forced myself not to flinch. So it's true. The parties, the clothes, the stories about million-dollar deals, it was all fake. Her lips curved into a bitter smile. Fake? No, just temporary. You're broke, I whispered. She slammed her fist against the counter. I'm not broke. I just need time. Later that night, her phone rang. I heard her answer in a sugar-sweet voice. Darling, of course I'll pay you. Just a small delay. You know me, I always make it right. A pause. Then her tone cracked. Wait, no. Don't say that. Please don't cut me off. I'll fix it. I promise. She hung up, and the silence that followed was heavier than any scream. I stepped into the doorway. They're leaving you, aren't they? She jumped, eyes wild. Shut up. You're friends. They only stayed because they thought you had money. Now they're gone. Her breath came uneven. They'll come back. They always do. No, I said. Not this time. The next morning, I found her sitting at the table with a glass of water, staring blankly. Where's your boyfriend? I asked quietly. She blinked slowly. Gone. Gone? She laughed bitterly. He said I wasn't worth the trouble. Packed up and left last month. Didn't even wait for me to finish screaming. I sat down across from her, unsure if my chest ached from pity or relief. So that's why you came here, she sneered. Don't look at me like that. Like you've won. I didn't win, I whispered. You lost on your own. Her eyes filled with tears she refused to let fall. You think you're better than me now? No, I said. But I'm not beneath you anymore. That evening, Liam stopped by. He glanced at her hollow face and then at me. She knows? I nodded. She knows, Serene snapped. Knows what? That you two sit here judging me? That you're enjoying this? Liam's voice was calm, almost cold. Karma isn't judgment. It's just balance. She slammed her hands on the table. Don't talk to me about karma. I built myself from nothing. I clawed for every inch I had. And now, her voice cracked. Now it's all slipping away, I whispered, because you built it on lies. She glared at me, eyes red. You don't understand. You never had to shine. You never carried the weight of being the best. I carried the weight of your betrayal, I said, and it almost destroyed me. But you... I met her eyes, steady. You destroyed yourself. Later, when she locked herself in the bedroom, I sat in the living room with Liam. He asked softly, Do you pity her? I stared at the closed door. Part of me does. Part of me wants to hold her like I used to, beg her to let me in. And the other part? My voice firmed. The other part is satisfied. She's finally facing everything she tried to bury. I leaned back, exhaling. For once, I don't cry for her. For once, I don't beg for her love. Liam nodded slowly. Then you're free. I looked at my trembling hands, surprised at how steady they felt now. Maybe I am. She dropped to her knees before I even realized what was happening. Please, Serene whispered, clutching my wrist with shaking hands. Don't let him take everything. You're all I have left. Her tears streaked her perfect makeup, dripping onto my skin. My chest tightened so hard I could barely breathe. Serene. My voice cracked. Get up. She shook her head violently. No, I can't. If you leave me now, I have no one. No home, no friends, no love, just you. Only you. I tried to pull my hand back, but she gripped harder. Stop. Her sobs grew louder. I was wrong, okay? About everything. I should have been better. But I can change, just don't throw me away. My throat burned. You threw me away years ago. That was different. She cried. I was young, selfish, stupid. I didn't know what I was doing. You knew enough to destroy me, I whispered. Her nails dug into my skin as she shook her head. I never meant to hurt you. I only wanted to survive. Please, you're my sister. You can't hate me forever. Liam's voice cut through, cold and sharp. She doesn't owe you anything, Serene. Serene turned to him, eyes wild. Stay out of this. This is between us. He didn't flinch. You ruined her life once. You won't do it again. She spun back to me, desperation pouring out. Don't listen to him. He wants you to hate me so he can keep you for himself. But you know me. You know I love you, love. My voice broke. You call that love? Stealing from me? Mocking me? Taking everything I cared about? Her tears fell harder. I was scared. You've never known fear like mine. Everything I built I had to fight for. And now it's gone. Please don't let me lose you too. I closed my eyes, trembling. For years I had dreamed of this, her kneeling, begging, needing me for once. And now that it was here, my heart ached in ways I couldn't name. Liam's hand brushed my shoulder. She's manipulating you. Look at her eyes. I forced myself to meet her gaze. Behind the tears, behind the cracks, there it was. The glint I knew too well. Not regret, not love. Just fear of losing her throne. You don't regret what you did, I whispered. She shook her head too quickly. I do, I regret it all. No, I said, firmer. You regret being caught. You regret falling. But you don't regret what you did to me. Her grip weakened, but she didn't let go. If you turn me away, I'll have nothing. Please, sister. I can't survive without you, I swallowed hard. Every part of me torn between the child who once adored her and the woman scarred by her cruelty. I survived without you, I whispered. Her eyes widened. No, you didn't. You're still weak, still small. You need me as much as I need you. No. My voice steadied. I don't. Liam's voice was firm. Let her go. My hand trembled, but I pulled free. Serene collapsed forward, catching herself on the floor. You can't mean this, she begged. You'll regret it. You'll hate yourself for abandoning me. I shook my head slowly. No, I hated myself for loving you. For waiting for you to love me back. That ends today. Her sobs turned frantic. You don't understand. I'm your sister. Blood is everything. Blood doesn't break. It broke a long time ago, I said quietly. She crawled closer, desperate. Then give me another chance. One more chance, please. I'll do anything. I took a long, shaking breath. Then I said the words I had never thought I'd be strong enough to say. This house isn't mine anymore. Her head snapped up, confusion mixing with terror. What? It belongs to Liam now. You can beg all you want, but it won't change the truth. Her tears froze mid-fall. No, you wouldn't. And neither is my heart, I continued. It doesn't belong to you anymore. You can't crush me again. She stared at me, broken, her mouth opening and closing like she couldn't form words. Liam stepped forward, voice steady. It's time to leave, Serene. Her face twisted, fury and despair colliding. You'll regret this, she spat. Both of you. But her voice cracked, hollow, as she stumbled to her feet. I stood still, my body trembling, my soul aching, but for the first time, I felt unchained. The door slammed behind her. For the first time in weeks, the house was silent. I pressed my hand against the wall, waiting for her voice to echo back, but nothing came. Liam exhaled. She's gone. I nodded, my throat tight. It feels unreal. He looked at me carefully. Do you want me to stay? I don't know, I admitted. The silence feels strange, heavy. Strange good or strange bad? Both. I walked into the living room, staring at the couch where she used to lounge like a queen. It's lighter, but empty too, Liam followed slowly. You don't have to feel guilty. I don't feel guilty, I said quickly. Then softer. At least not in the way you think. I thought revenge would feel sweet, but it doesn't. What does it feel like? I touched the armrest she always claimed. Hollow. Like I won a game I never wanted to play. Liam's voice was steady. That's because it wasn't about winning. It was about surviving. I nodded. For years I dreamed of this moment. Her begging, her leaving, her finally facing the pain she caused me. I thought I'd laugh. I thought I'd feel alive. And now? I closed my eyes. All I feel is free. Nothing more. Nothing less. I walked through the hallway, running my fingers along the walls. She used to call me weak, I whispered. She said I'd never stand without her. But look, I'm still here. She's the one who broke. Liam leaned against the doorframe. You're not the same girl she left behind. No, I said. That girl cried in the shadows, waiting for scraps of love. This one doesn't beg anymore. He studied me quietly. So what now? I stopped in front of the mirror. My reflection looked tired but different. Stronger somehow. Now, I learned to live without her voice in my head. We sat at the kitchen table. The faint crack in the sink from her rage stared back at me. I used to imagine her laughter echoing even after she was gone, I said softly, like a ghost that would never leave. But it's quiet now. Do you want it to stay quiet? Liam asked. Yes, my chest tightened. But it aches too. She was cruel, but she was still my sister. Some part of me still wanted her to love me. That part will fade, he said. Maybe. I sighed. Or maybe I'll just learn to live with it. Night fell. I walked through each room slowly, touching the furniture she mocked, the dishes she broke, the floor she claimed as her throne. I thought this house was a prison, I whispered. But it was only her shadow keeping me locked. Liam's voice carried behind me. And now? Now it's mine again, I said. Then I corrected myself. Ours, I guess. Yours on paper. Mine in spirit. He gave a faint smile. It suits you better without her in it. I ran my hand along the windowsill. It suits me because I finally belong here. I stood in the doorway of the bedroom she had taken. The bed was unmade, the air heavy with her perfume. I whispered, she wanted to leave her scent everywhere, to remind me this was hers. But it isn't, Liam said behind me. No. I let out a shaky breath. It never was. I closed the door firmly, shutting her ghost inside. Later, sitting on the porch, I stared into the night. I thought revenge would heal me, I confessed. But it didn't. It just tore the last thread between us. And that's enough, Liam said. I nodded slowly. It is, because now I'm not waiting for her anymore. I lifted my face to the cool air, whispering to myself, I'm free. The silence didn't answer back, but for the first time, it felt like peace. The sun dipped low, painting the sky in soft amber. I sat on the porch with 2 glasses in my hands. Liam walked out behind me. Planning to drink alone? I shook my head, handing him one. Not tonight. He settled beside me, his shoulder brushing mine lightly. Strange quiet, isn't it? Strange, I agreed. But not unwelcome. He sipped, then glanced at me. Do you miss her already? I stared into my glass. I don't know. I think I miss the idea of her more than her. The sister I kept hoping existed. The one who never did, he said. Yes. My voice cracked, but I didn't cry. She'll never change. And you? I took a long drink, letting the burn steady me. I already have. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The cicadas filled the air with their steady hum. You held strong, Liam said finally. Most people would have folded. I almost did, I admitted. When she begged me, I wanted to give in. My chest hurt so badly I thought I'd break. But you didn't. I shook my head. No. Because I realized something. I've spent my whole life waiting for her to apologize. Waiting for her to love me. And she never will. He studied me. And now? Now I don't need her apology. I set my glass down. That's the freedom I didn't know I was looking for. Liam leaned back against the railing. You think she'll come back? She always does, I said softly. But if she does, she won't find me waiting. He nodded slowly. That's strength, I laughed faintly. Feels more like exhaustion. Sometimes they're the same thing. I tilted my head. And what about you? Why are you still here? He raised his glass. Because someone has to remind you the house may be mine on paper, but it's yours in spirit. I smiled. You sound sentimental. Don't get used to it. The sun sank lower, shadows stretching across the porch. Do you regret it? He asked suddenly. What? Signing it over to me, I thought carefully. No, because it saved me. Not just from her, but from myself. I stopped clinging to walls and papers, thinking they defined me. And what defines you now? I took a deep breath. Peace. Choice. The fact that I can sit here and not feel afraid in my own home. He clinked his glass lightly against mine. Then it was worth it. We sat in silence, sipping slowly. My thoughts drifted to the girl I used to be, the one crying in the shadows, begging for scraps of affection. She destroyed me once, I whispered. Liam glanced at me. And now? Now I'm still here. I let the words settle. Surviving made me new. Stronger, he corrected. Stronger, I echoed. The sky deepened into twilight. I used to think home was a house, I said. 4 walls, a roof, a name on paper. But I was wrong. What is it then? I turned toward him, feeling the weight lift from my chest. Home is the peace I choose for myself. And for the first time, I have it. He held my gaze for a long moment. Then you're finally free. I smiled softly, letting the night air wash over me. Yes, I am. I stood, stretching, the boards creaking beneath my feet. The house loomed behind me, no longer a prison, no longer haunted. Where are you going? Liam asked. I looked toward the quiet street, the world waiting beyond. Into tomorrow. And for the first time, the words didn't scare me.